Learn English with me.
Welcome to Learning English with Mr. Saptia. An introduction to descriptive text. Well, hi everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about descriptive text. Here are the learning menus that we are going to discuss in this video. Are you ready? Okay, the first one we are going to discuss about the definition of descriptive text. A descriptive text is a text where the writer tries to picture what he or she is describing. Its purpose is to describe a particular person, thing, or place. So, from the purpose and definition, we can conclude that the descriptive text is a text that is written to describe a person, thing, and a place. The next is generic structure. So descriptive text has two generic structures. The first one is identification. This is the part where the subject is going to be described simply or briefly. And the second one is the description. So this is the part where the subject is going to describe more complex, can be related to their qualities, characteristics, and others. Can you differentiate between the identification and description? You will find it in the next example. Well, this is the example. For the identification, it can be introduction of the name, location, age, and others. Like you can see here, for the first picture, this is an example of the introduction part. We can say, this is a vihara. It is located in Pontianak, West Kalimantan. So when you are talking about vihara, means it is the descriptive text of place. So Pontianak, West Kalimantan here is the introduction of location. The second example here, this is my younger sister, Leona. So when you're talking about Leona, means it is the descriptive text of a person. Leona is 3 years old. So Leona is the introduction of the name, and 3 years old is the introduction of the age. The next one is the description. So the description part will be more complex, talking about the subject itself. It can be about the physical appearance, qualities, habit, function, and others. The same example here we can find out about Leona. Leona has a beautiful curly hair. So the beautiful curly hair here is the statement or characteristic that related to the appearance. And then the second one, Leona always plays with her doll every day. So every day here is explaining about the habit about Leona, that she plays with her doll every day. So the word every day here is explaining about habit of Leona. The next one is the language features of descriptive text. So the first one we have the use of adjective. So it is used to clarify the noun. Like the example here you can see, a delicious dumpling. So the word delicious here is the adjective, and the dumpling here is the object or the noun. It can be also the topic that is being described. The second one is a beautiful red packet. So the word beautiful here is the adjective, while the red packet here is the noun. The next one is the use of simple present tense. So the sentence pattern in descriptive text is using simple present tense. Simple present tense is a tense that tells the fact of the object that is being described. Like the example here you can see, my dog likes to eat bread every morning. So my dog here is the doer or the subject. Like here is the verb. Bread here is the object. Every morning here's the adverb of time, or we call it complement. So now, can you form the formula for simple present tense? But before that, let us find the definition first of simple present tense. So simple present tense is the tense that is used to refer to events, actions, and conditions that are happening all of the time or exist now. Simple present tense has nominal and verbal sentence. There are three forms of sentences in simple present tense. They are a positive sentence, negative sentence, and interrogative sentence. Well, before we discuss them further, do you know what is simple present tense used for? The first one here is to tell about the facts. The second one to tell about the routines. And the third one to tell about the habits. For the example here you can read, we celebrate Chinese New Year every year. So every year here is about the routines for us to celebrate the Chinese New Year. For more examples, you can read other sentences. Okay, now we are going to talk about the formula for the nominal and verbal sentences. Simply, to differentiate between them, in nominal sentence, it will be using to be, is, am, are. For the verbal sentence, it will be using verb 1. To find them more, let's see these examples. Do you know that its subject is using different to be? For the subject I, it is using am, you, they, we using are, he, she, it using is. That is for the positive sentence. As the example you can see here, I am tall, you are tall, they are tall, and others. For the negative sentence, we attach not after the to be. So for example, I am not, you are not, they are not, he is not, she is not, and others. So we just need to attach not after the to be itself. So what about interrogative sentence? Can you form it? Yes, we just need to put the to be before the subject. So am I blah blah blah. So for example, the adjective is tall, right? So am I tall? Are they tall? Is she tall? And others. So we just need to put the to be before the subject. Well, the next one is the verbal sentence. So as I said earlier, in verbal sentence, the sentence is using verb. So let's take a look at the example here. I have long hair. So I here is the subject, have here is the verb, and long hair here is the object, or we call it complement also, that's fine. And then the other example, he has a long hair. So he here is the subject, has here is the verb, and long hair here is the object. That's for the positive sentence. What about negative sentence? So for the negative sentence, we need to attach do not or does not after the subject. So for the subject I, you, they, we use do not. For the subject he, she, it, they use does not. As the example here you can see, I don't have a long hair. And then he does not have long hair. So we cannot say that he do not have a long hair, or I does not have long hair. So for the subject I, you, we, they must use do not, and for he, she, it, they must use does not. The next one is the verbal in interrogative sentence. Different from the negative, if the word do not or does not we put after the subject. So in interrogative, the word do or does we put it before the subject. As the example you can see here, do you have long hair? Does he have long hair? So for the subject you, they, we, so they will have do before the subject. For the subject he, she, it, they will use does. So that's the explanation about the nominal and verbal sentences. Can you get it? For the examples of descriptive text, you will find it in the next video. Thank you for watching and goodbye.